Hi, everyone. It's me, Eartha, and welcome to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. Today, I thought we'd do something a little different and maybe take a little time out and do a breather, do a mindfulness activity, an exercise, a practice session. That's what we call it in the mindfulness world. We hear different words, but what it really means is just to take a break, a mindful break, paying attention to our breath, our awareness of what's going on around us right now. And without a lot of stimulation, we're not going to do any interviews today. And you're not even going to see my face here in a few minutes because I want you to use your imagination. You can close your eyes if you'd like, or you can keep them open. I'll have a few images on the screen for the video, but if you want to just let that screen go to sleep on your device, it's okay too. So it's my pleasure to guide you through an imagery activity in mindfulness. And I'm going to maybe even ask you to stretch your imagination, not only with the imagery exercise, but also just find something to think of without boundaries. So when I'm saying, okay, think about a place, any place. You don't have to think of, well, I don't have enough money, I don't have the time. That's someplace that, I wish we could all go. This uh, this is just for you because a lot of times some of the barriers that we have as far as taking time out and doing a mindfulness activity are all those things we just listed. I just listed. I, you know why I listed it? Because I do the same thing. And so I really have to intentionally take a breath. And it may be 5 minutes, it may be 10 minutes. You know, one thing that I do is if I find myself paying a whole lot more attention to something like, scanning the news or finding out what's going on in the current events, then I think it's time for me to take a time out. And so I invite you to join me on this timeout, this breather, this mindfulness activity, this practice session. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for joining me. And here we go. The goal of this activity is to go beyond our barriers. And sometimes those barriers are things that we put on ourselves. For this time together, our barriers are things that take us away from a mindfulness practice, a mindfulness activity, something that we can take a few moments and stimulate our imagination, our curiosity, our growth of new neurons, which is, you may have heard, called neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to change by creating and reorganizing new neuron connections. In order for our brains to have the opportunity to do that, it's very helpful to branch out and do and participate in new activities and allow ourselves to help our brain to recognize this activity is going to help change me as far as how I think. I'm talking to my brain. Okay, brain, this is one way I'm going to help you focus off of all the other stuff that we've been focusing on all week long. And as I talk to my brain, and I'm going to say, brain, I know that when I start doing my breathing or concentrating on my breath, I know that you're not doing this with your whole focus because you tend to get distracted. And the more we try to tell our brains, don't get distracted, you know what the brain does? It gets more distracted. That's what brains do. So we're going to give our brain permission that if you get distracted, that's normal. And we're just going to refocus on our breath. You know, if I was looking at water and looking at the waves, and I would breathe as the waves are coming in and blow out as the waves are going out, or vice versa. Or if I was walking in the snow, I would be listening to the silence and the crunching of the snow underneath my feet. Have you ever experienced that? When it's snow, when the environment has, like fresh snow and it's so quiet. And you realize this is nature. It's sleeping, but at the same time, it's alive. And as I think about those things, I know that I have refocused my thinking just like that. As we practice for a few moments in refocusing, and sometimes it takes practice during this transition time. Try to keep positive thoughts flowing. And what I mean is, if you get distracted, just let it go. And say, or at least I did a little bit of mindfulness activity more today than I did yesterday. And so you build on that. So here we go. Taking a breath, just a mindful relaxation breath. You don't have to count it. But what I would ask is that you just pay attention to the movement of your body as you breathe in and blow out. And maybe you don't find this is helpful for you. This is not beneficial. And these thoughts start to come into your mind. This is a waste of time. This is taking too long. And maybe you're not comfortable. The clothes are too tight. The clothes are too loose. The clothes are too hot. The clothes is too cold. And so before we start our practice, I invite you to get into a comfortable position. Adjust your clothing so that it's comfortable for you. If you're outside, make your clothing comfortable for you. And if you're inside, again, make your surroundings where nothing is tugging and nothing is pulling, and find a place where you're going to take a few moments for yourself. And as your mind is telling you what to do, this is too boring, this is taking too long, what is she talking about? Give it a chance. And we don't even have to go into the research, because that's boring. Who wants to hear about research? Just think of how busy your day is, how busy your week has been, and you're just taking a breather. And with this breather, with this time, with this practice, it's free. With things so expensive, with the cost of transportation, this is just a few moments. And you know what? I recognize and I appreciate and I respect your time, because our time is very important. It is very valuable. And that's another reason why giving yourself this time to recharge and to re energize without any substance to help you. And that's another cost savings. You don't need any substances, you don't need any alcohol, you don't need any vaping. This is all free. Look at the amount of money you've already saved. Are you ready? Okay. As you're in your comfortable position and you're focusing in on your breath, allow your shoulders just to melt, just to drift. Any thoughts about people, work, school, for just right now, just for a second, swipe the thought away. Just like when we get a notification on our device and we don't have time to read it, swipe it away. Allow yourself to think about your strengths. The strengths that you have that help you cope and manage situations, painful situations, exciting situations. We all might say we want to be better at managing this situation. Give yourself credit for what you're doing now. Because as we look back, we can grow from where we have come. And remember, you are unique. No one else has stepped into your shoes except for you. This is your path. And it's a unique path. You are bringing your gifts and your talents to this world that no one else has done before. Take a breath. Enjoy the feeling and allow yourself to feel the positivity of that feeling. Allow yourself to respect yourself. Allow yourself to trust yourself. Even if we have to work at getting better at it, we can give ourselves credit for what we are doing right now. And you know what? There may be others who don't respect us, but that's not what we're here for right now. People who hate will always exist because that's what they do. They're like distractors. But we can choose not to be a hater. We can choose to add something positive to this time right now. Have you ever noticed, as you take a breath, allow any residue, if I can use that word, from negative situations, from negative self-talk, people who have told you what you can't do or what you're not able to do. Inside, you have what it takes to accomplish your goals. It may take a different path. You may have to try something new or learn something new. Respect and value your qualities of not giving up. Because look at yourself right now and the time you're taking for yourself. As you're taking in a breath, you're concentrating on the positive parts and celebrating you. Express gratitude for those who have helped you. And maybe that was their job. They were teachers. Or maybe, you were in staff training at work. There's still an opportunity to show gratitude. Because whether the teacher was a really great teacher or a really good trainer, if they weren't, you had the opportunity to say, now, I was doing that, I would do a little different. And that is growth. Any pressures that you notice in your legs or your feet, let it go. Acknowledge it's there. Take a breath and let it go. As we bring this exercise to a close, allow yourself to be open and willing to share and express your warm feelings and your love towards others, and how important it is to share positive feelings. And recognize not everyone is accustomed to positivity, so you may get some weird looks. You're the leader. Leaders get weird looks. You have the ability to bounce back and recover because you have strong resilience. End of exercise. That exercise, I am so happy and thankful to share with you. I got it from Taking the Good with, it's a handout from stressteens.com from Gina Beagle. And I took Gina's certification class to practice mindfulness using her Stress Teens model. And so I'm just happy to be able to share that with you. I hope this is helpful. And you'll feel welcome to play this short exercise over again at different times and enjoy your rest and your break and your mindfulness practice. May you have a calm, restful week, and I'll talk to you again next time. Have a great day.